everything from cleaning, medicating the animals, feeding the animals, everything that goes on at the farm. Basically that's what I do. There's so much that goes on here. It's really hard to say everything. But, pretty amazing place, beautiful.
Welcome, gentle viewers, to Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. Have you ever visited a sweet home for farm animals where they all dine on delectable vegan food? Today, in the first of a two-part series, we will be meeting some of the happy vegan residents of the largest farm animal sanctuary in the Midwestern United States. This magical place is known as SASHA, Sanctuary and Safe Haven for Animals Farm.
I first learned of SASHA Farm at Veg Fest several years ago, and I signed up to volunteer. They called me into one of their volunteer orientations, along with many other people, and I've been volunteering here ever since. It's my peace on earth.
Located in Manchester, Michigan, SASHA Farm was founded by vegans Dorothy Davies and Monty Jackson. The 60-acre or 25-hectare farm is named in honor of a deeply loved dog companion of the founders called Sasha, who previously lived on the property and has now passed on.
Tell me, Dorothy, how did SASHA Farm get started?
People started to bring me animals because they knew I wouldn't eat them. And after about 100 animals, I thought, I have to give up my job and take care of these animals and find a way to support them. So I formed the nonprofit and I retired. I was a librarian, and we have been going strong ever since. And it's been about, we're on our 11th year now in business.
Taking in abandoned, neglected, and or abused farm animals is SASHA's mission, and currently there are over 200 animals joyfully enjoying the fresh air and wide spaces of the sanctuary. As Dorothy Davies and Monty Jackson believe all life is sacred, only vegan food is served to the farm animals. The resident dogs have adopted this plant-based diet as well.
We recently switched all the dogs to a vegan diet. They are doing great on a vegan diet. In fact, we have one dog that was diagnosed with cancer and expected to die within weeks, about a year and a half ago. And he is, with the benefit of a vegan diet, I think he's going to get a lot more time. He's still with us.
The pigs love their meals and are quite content. Bob Harvey, the chairman of SASHA Farm's board of directors, showed us what the porcine friends feast on every day.
It's a special mixture that they get from the granary. It gives the pigs all of the vitamins and nutrients that they need. And we just give them a little bit, maybe a couple of cups each, so that they don't get overfed again. But we just give them enough so that they've got enough to eat. And they seem to be fairly happy, and they're getting along. We don't want to overfeed them, because one of the things that these big pigs have a problem with is the heavier they get, the bigger the problem they have with things like arthritis. Their back ends can't get up. And when they can't get up, their quality of life is gone. If they were in a feedlot, that's all they want to do is overfeed them so that they can get them to market weight as quickly as possible.
The day we visited the sanctuary was a special one, as volunteers had come for a large-scale cleanup around the farm.
The first cleanup in the spring is usually very big. People today are basically just cleaning up pastures and interacting with the animals a little. It's some people's first time here, so it's a good idea for them to understand what we really do here. It's not a petting farm. It's an actual, like a working farm, except we don't profit for the animals, you know, because we're a nonprofit.
The volunteers have hearts of gold and are true lovers of animals.
And it's something that we all really believe in, this way of living, and it's just so peaceful to be here, and the people you meet here are all so conscientious of their choices, and that makes it really quite a delightful experience.
We have about 17 regular volunteers that come every week. most of them come on the same day, once a week. We have 3 employees, but the volunteers do the majority of the work. They come and take care of the animals every day. They help us groom them and provide them with some social interaction. We don't just let them kind of live all by themselves. We make sure that they get a lot of love and attention, and we take a lot of care into checking our animals constantly to try to catch any problems, any diseases that they might have, so we can take care of them right away. We love our volunteers. We couldn't do without them.
Each animal friend arrives at SASHA Farm with a touching story. Let's now meet some cows who had the courage and the luck to escape from the slaughterhouse.
Jefferson was raised at a feedlot about 10 miles south of here, and he was sold at auction about 5 miles north of here, and he was taken down to Detroit to be slaughtered at a slaughterhouse. As he was coming off the truck and down the ramp, they had left a door open to the slaughterhouse, and Jefferson saw his opening and ran out and ran for about 2 miles, and he was actually tranquilized up at a school parking lot. But we negotiated for his release for about 2 weeks, and it took a phone-in campaign from PETA and a whole bunch of negotiations before we were finally able to get his release. He got in national press. He had been in the papers all around the country, and his news story had been picked up. We've got Bella Brown Beauty and her calf. Bella was in the truck on her way to slaughter over in Grand Rapids on the west side of the state, and the truck overturned, and about 4 or 5 cows were able to get out and start running around. Bella was the only one that was captured, and after she was captured and brought here to the farm, we found out she was pregnant. So she was on her way to slaughter pregnant, and her calf up there is Mr. Rogers, was born here at the farm after she was brought here after her rescue.
We met all sorts of amazing animals in this safe haven. We were introduced to goats, pigs, sheep, turkeys, chickens, and other birds. At the goats' residence, a pygmy goat named Stephen Colbert greeted us warmly. Sadly, he was taken away from his mother the day of his birth and sold for meat at a livestock market. Fortunately, a longtime SASHA Farm supporter spotted him and brought Stephen to the sanctuary. The first emu resident of the farm was seen by a neighbor walking around near the sanctuary. When his home could not be located, SASHA became his new abode.
Gorgeous George? Hi, Gorgeous George.
They're a cousin to the ostrich.
Right.
When we first got them, we weren't sure what to feed them. They like to be fed standing up, so when we feed them, we almost have to hold the bowl up here for them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't like to bend down.
The cow residents are everywhere on the farm. Let's get introduced to a few more.
The cow right up here on the hill, the brown one is laying down. She was rescued by a couple down in Arkansas, and they didn't have enough room to take care of her, so she called all around the country to find a sanctuary that would take the cow in. This guy right here broke his leg in about 8 spots. Found him out here in the pasture, and he had his leg broken. We don't know how that happened, but we took him up to Michigan State, the veterinary's office, and they couldn't set it because it had been broken up in his shoulder. So they asked us to bring him back down here and keep him in a stall. So he was in a stall for about 3 weeks, and so he couldn't move around. Then they moved him into a bigger paddock area. So he's getting around pretty good. He still moves that leg a little bit stiffly. Drags it around a little bit, but he's doing just fine. This is what the cows normally do. They just get out here in the pasture and just kind of relax and get a chance to eat. Their food is all over there, so if they felt like eating the hay, they could go over there and eat, and their water's all over there. But they like to get out here in the sun and just relax.
A big thank you to Dorothy Davies, Monty Jackson, Bob Harvey, and the many SASHA Farm volunteers for brightening the lives of over 200 sanctuary residents each day. You are all to be applauded for not only saving precious animal lives, but also promoting the loving vegan diet. For more details on SASHA Farm, please visit www.sashafarm.org. Giving viewers, please join us again next Tuesday on Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living, for the conclusion of our visit to SASHA Farm. Thank you for your presence on today's program. Coming up next is Between Master and Disciples. May all beings enjoy everlasting, peaceful, and happy lives.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/VEG.